Welcome back, NVA fans. We are queuing up right now for the Tennessee Tyrants playing on the Utah Stingers. This is the first time we're going to see the Tennessee Tyrants this weekend. We saw the Utah Stingers at about half of their size this morning as they took on the Matadors, battled with them to 5 and took the win. So this will definitely be an interesting look to see them.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm excited to see him too. I know most of the guys over on the Stinger side. Don't really know or recognize a whole lot of people over on the Tyrants side, so I'm excited to see these guys play.
Yeah, absolutely. Tennessee Tyrants have been one of the most recent additions. They got added about a month ago to the NVA, so there's a lot of guys that are kind of just hopping over to that team that they might have been training with some other teams, and they wanted to make that team happen. So there's going to be some new faces, but definitely guys that have been around the league a bit, I think, here. So excited to see what this new team can put together for us.
Absolutely, yeah. You know they're ballers for sure, but so it'll be fun to see these guys put it together.
And hey, even if the play isn't looking good, those jerseys are fresh.
I know, right? They look awesome.
I'm a big fan of the bright yellow against the bright orange here.
That's right. Looks like we're getting close to getting on the court and being able to check lineups and whatnot and get this ball rolling.
It'll be interesting to see what Stingers go with this morning. They really didn't have many substitutions available to them, and the only one they were able to go to is in the fourth set. They brought in Russ Holmes to look for a little change up there, but they were actually able to see Jorge Mencia make a ton of changes, and he swung for 8 kills in the fourth game.
Oh, wow.
Really put the team on his back and turned it around. So we'll see if he's playing or if he's able to contribute in the same way, but it was certainly an impressive match for him.
That's way cool. He's one of the ones I don't know. What number is Jorge?
Number 9.
Number 9. Oh, okay. Okay. That was definitely someone to look at.
Yeah, it was a blast to see him play. And Chandler Baugh was definitely he had a slow start to the morning, but right around game 3, he really turned it on and was passing very consistently. Really opened up a lot of options for him. Storm started turning it on as well on the outside, and it was really a good match. And then we saw Matadors take Blaze in 4 this afternoon. So Matadors ended up 1-1. Stingers are currently 1-0. So a win here is going to really set the Stingers out in the lead, and that'll be an important lead for them heading into tomorrow.
Absolutely. You mentioned Storm. When he was playing at BYU, the kid could jump 50 inches. How nuts is that? I mean, he's not super tall. He's maybe 6'1", 6'2", maybe, but 50 inches?
That's an express ticket to your knees.
I know, right? Yeah, he'll be in a wheelchair by the time he's 30, but still. Yeah, no, that's amazing.
All right. We're going to see if Cynthia, are we able to get a lineup for Tyrants?
Yeah, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, especially admittedly with the lack of names here. All right, perfect. So what we're looking at for starting lineups here for the Utah Stingers, we've got on the in the bright yellow, we got Storm, Fatungata, Tufunga. We've got Jorge Mencia starting up once again. In the middle, we're looking at Rusty Lavaya. We got Russ Holmes in the back row, and then Jake Langlois. And then in the back there, number 4, Leo Durkin taking hands once again. Looks like Chandler Baugh taking the libero jersey once again. And then we're going to be introduced to the Tyrants here. We're looking at the libero is going to be number 5, Ryan Alu. We got a right side, Ryan Kenny. Middle blocker, number 9, is going to be Jake Milnaziak. And then, can you see who's over there on the right, or the actual oppo?
Yeah, I can't quite see his number from here. Maybe 8, maybe?
Maybe 8. Looks right to me, but I don't see that number here. So we'll find out who that is for you guys in a minute. But number 18 is going to be Thomas Burrell in the back row. Number 10 in the middle is going to be Dan Nugent. And number 4, the other outside, is going to be Ian Kapp.
The player to be named later.
With a player to be named later.
I'm excited to see Jake Langlois, number 2 for the Stingers. He's like 6'10", played golf in high school, and then decided he wanted to try volleyball. And I'm like, what? You had a great jump serve and passed well. I'm like, you don't just pick up volleyball in 1 year and be that good.
Absolutely. We just identified number 8 on the court is actually going to be Race Munger.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, we are getting back into it, and Durkin is on the back line to serve, opens up with a float serve, comes down the line. That's a little bit of a rough pass, goes high to the outside, roll shot in wide, and that is a little too much for Mr. Durkin to handle there, and that's going to be the first point of the Tennessee Tyrants in the NBA.
That's a nice way to start the match right there if you're a fan of the Tyrants.
And if you're not, here's your chance to be one.
That's right.
Big serve goes back to Storm, flicks it back on the backside, one-handed set. Storm challenges, gets a little up. Set goes to the back row, tip to keep it live. Set from the libero for the Tyrants to the outside, high into a double hand swing. That's going to be a set. Storm coming around once again. He's got to tip it to keep it alive. Tyrants are in system. They go for the flick to the outside, and that's a big swing. Wow. Cut down the angle. Great looking 4-4 swing from number 9 on the Tyrants. That's Jake Milnaziak.
Yeah, that was a great swing. Hard angle right there. And I'll tell you, the Stingers just look like out of sorts right now.
Absolutely, got to control those free balls, but Storm gets a first good ball pass, and that's a bit coming out of the back row. Doesn't quite connect, though. Tyrants in system out of defense.
Look at the Tyrants.
Wow. Number 9, Jake Milnaziak once again.
Yeah, feed that dude all night long. That guy's 1,000 already.
Yep. Really impressive to see such good transition ball that they can run middles too out of that, and Tennessee Tyrants definitely coming out and showing something new. Jump serve out of the backside here. Unfortunately, that one goes into the bottom of the net. Stingers get a little bit of a break, and we've got number 1 Storm heading to the back line.
Yeah, I don't think Storm has a ton to offer from the service line. I think it's just like a float serve, but it's decent, but it's not anything to write home about, if I remember right.
Yeah, but if I recall this morning, he was serving a lot straight down the line, getting guys to just make a move.
Yeah.
Big swing out of the middle there. Tennessee Tyrants are finding themselves in system a lot right now, and just like you said, that serve's not going to be enough to make those guys move. It's a great pass from number 5, Ryan Alley. I'm butchering his last name, and I'm so sorry, but Ryan, that's a great pass.
Number 8's like, how dare you not know my name?
Looks like we're going to get a jump serve here out of Jake Milnaziak on the back line. Big swing, handled well by Chandler Bow. Goes to the backside too tight, but Stingers are able to keep it alive. Set goes outside. Hard swing angle. That's a net from the Tyrants. Going to see if that gets called, but they missed that one.
I noticed the down ref, that net was moving a ton in that last match, and he never really ever blew his whistle.
He's not big on making that net call when that net bounces, so that one's going to go unnoticed, and the Tyrants are going to catch a break.
I'm like, dude, that's your job, right? Like, that's what you do.
Trust me, as someone on the bench of the team that was on the aggression side, I saw plenty of that.
Wow, there you go.
Jake Milnaziak come out once again with a big swing. That's a great over-the-top set to number 2, Jake Langlois.
Yeah, the golfer.
That right? Jake
Langlois. I think he pronounces the S.
Okay.
Like, it could be either way, but I think it's Langlois. But yeah, like I said, the golfer from high school just bombs that ball at 1 foot line.
Yeah, that's a great tempo right over the top of Rusty Lavaya there. It's going to be tough to run a good blocking scheme when you got that option in front of you.
I'm trying to think. I think Durkin actually set Lavaya and Jake Langlois in college. Whoa, a kid.
Wow,
a nice
huge block. That's a great seal. That's going to be a block once again on the right side there for Jake Langlois.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looks like he's picking this game up pretty good.
So far, yeah.
Right.
We're seeing the outsides really show up. Lavaya with a float serve deep, handled well by the Tyrants libero. Set goes to the outside. Number 10 with a roll shot down the corner. No one home. Storm was not ready to read that shift. Finds the open court, and that's a great shot down the line by number 10. That's Dan Nugent.
Yeah, that was weird though. I don't know if he like stepped on himself or what. Like his approach was a little bit unorthodox, but yeah, the outcome was awesome.
Yeah,
trouble.
Well, that ball goes over, and we see a little bit of pursuit from Leo Durkin. Doesn't seem we got a little bit of a discussion here about player safety and kind of going under.
Yeah, well, and the other guy's like, the down ref's like, dude, don't jump. There's no reason for you to jump when, he's trying to make a play, even though it's on your side of the net.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever, man. This is my side. Go away.
That was one of those things that with the FIVB rules I always struggle with is where you're allowed to pursue and what actions the defending team is allowed to take in terms of on their side of the net.
Right, right. In fact, I mentioned in the last match, I'm like, I'm not as familiar with the FIVB rules, so I might miss a couple things.
Yeah, it can happen, but there's a good gap. Russ Holmes finds a tip over the top, and the Tyrants are not able to play some off-blocker defense there, so that's gonna fall for Russ. But that's gonna put Jorge Mencia on the back line there.
Russ is like, oh, I'm in the hotel just trying to rest up for our next match. I'm like, whatever. What are you, like 25? Stop it. Oh, to be 25 again.
Set goes outside, and no luck for Dan Nugent that time, just over the block. Yeah, these days Russ Holmes trains out with us in Southern California, so he's still getting touches every week, and
awesome.
Plays with the Ramblers actually quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah, and he can still play. I don't care how many years out he might be.
Oh yeah, he's got what, maybe 30? He can't be that old. What happened there?
I think we got a touch call. Is my best bet. I don't think that was even close to the block, so we're just gonna smile and nod at that one. But that's gonna go point Tyrants, and that right there is gonna put number 4 Ian Cap on the back line. Cap looking like he's approaching on a jump serve here. That's a big jump serve, misses that long. Couldn't see exactly how much, about 2 or 3 feet out, if not more, and still an aggressive rip, so.
Absolutely. I was talking about jump serving up here must be really frustrating because that ball's in by a foot down at sea level.
Yes.
But up here it's out by a foot or 2.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Langlois has that same, I'm not sure he has the same excuse.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't have the same excuse. That's, yeah, it's funny. I did a lot of stuff with BYU, and BYU guys have missed just as many serves as the guys coming up from sea level. So I'm like, what in the world? You guys serve in this building all day long.
Dan Nugent with a big serve, and wow, we are witnessing men's volleyball here live at its very best. An exchange of missed serves. You can expect to see Russ Holmes going for a float serve in a zone 5 or 6. He's going to try and pick apart that seam between the front row outside and the libero most likely. There it is.
All by you.
Well defended. Chop over the top, well picked up by Jorge Mencia. There's a big effort on the setter side for Stingers. Storm free balls the ball over. Tyrants have put themselves back in system, and a huge swing over the top. Cut back swing for Thomas Burrell.
Wow, that was pretty.
Absolutely.
He looks like kind of undersized for a middle, but that dude hit that ball like 12 feet.
Yeah, if you can jump like that, you can be as small as you want.
Right? That was huge.
Something to keep an eye on. We've got setters front row on both of these teams right now, so tight balls might see some dumps. Ball goes back to the D-ball, tip over the top, but that is thrown back, and the middles are absolutely killing it right now. That is Race Munger for the Tennessee Tyrants. They are saying, this is our house.
Seriously, I spike your spike. Yeah. That was awesome.
Good float serve, goes deep, handled well by Langlois in the backside. Storm comes with the tip over the top, but once again defended by the Tennessee Tyrants. Middle blocker goes back to Jorge Mencia. And there it is once again. Wow. Number 8. Okay, Race Munger. Learn the name and hear it because he is ready to play some ball.
I will never forget your name again, ever, I promise.
Wow, that is quite the showing. You know, and right now, especially if you can establish a middle and find a way to win through that, especially against the Stingers with, you know, you got Russ Holmes in front of you and you got, is it Langlois?
No,
or not Langlois, sorry.
Rusty Levia.
Yeah, Rusty Levia. If you can find an effective middle run against those two guys.
Right.
That is an optimistic place to find yourself.
Oh my gosh, I know. And I noticed even just in the last match, they didn't set the middle a whole lot. Like they never really established the middle. So it was a lot of things out to the pins. So, you know, you got 2-3 blockers up every time, whereas if you can get the middle established, it seems like that's going to open things up a little bit on the pins.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that I think that we're seeing a lot of teams are plagued by is kind of getting A, the feel for serve receive, or B, getting a feel for the fact that some of these setters have never set these hitters.
Yeah, which is crazy. You know, maybe towards the end of the tournament, it'll all be dialed in, but yeah, there's still just a lot of hit and miss.
So that's a good float serve going in the corner. That's handled well by Chandler Bow. Huge swing high.
Wow.
Storm absolutely getting up after that ball and challenging high hands against Race Munger.
Yeah, Storm's still getting up. Jeez.
Some things never change.
Yeah, I guess. He's not 30 yet, that's why.
That's a good serving run right there, though, for Thomas Burrell. And we
Up 4.
Durkin hits a good float serve, forces the outside high ball. That's a good chop down the line, though, by number 18 on the Tyrants. Coming back, and Langlois takes his chop, and then there's a libero coming across for the Tyrants. High ball to the outside. Wow. Another big swing. Wow, if we have learned anything, it is that Jake Milnaziak loves going cross-court hard to that tee. If you're not ready to take that angle, he will take it all day long.
Absolutely. They got to move that block over a little bit.
Yep.
He's having his way with that hard angle.
Number 1 with a good float serve from the Tyrants. Set goes outside to the middle. Well set up, and that's a little bit forced. Unable to find the court there.
Yeah, Stingers are still trying to find their footing so far early in this. Well, about halfway through this first set.
Yeah, 5-point lead right now for the Tyrants is it's a little bit surprising for me, but then again, I know nothing about the team, so.
Yeah. Neither does anybody else.
This is going to be a big swing here. Easy point. Once again, Race Munger finding easy ways to score and contribute.
Like somebody better go up on that guy.
Yeah. At this point, when you got 3 points out of your 15 coming from one middle,
yeah,
you're in a really, really good spot.
Everybody's just digging foxholes on the other side.
Yep. Good pass high, goes to the out-of-system ball with Storm. Storm finds a touch, and the ball is in. That is, I swear, the story of Storm's, time here with the NVA is just smooth operator, finds those nice swings into the deep corners, nothing too flashy.
Yeah.
Put a big block in front of him, he's just going to swing high hands.
Yeah, he's been really good at that.
It's a good pass from the Tyrants. They are in perfect system. Ball goes to the outside, and once again, this is one of the bounciest teams I have ever seen. Yeah. They look a little undersized, and you put those balls up there. Ian Cap absolutely flying for that swing.
Absolutely. That was a great swing down the line.
And it's that really tough one because he swings that inside line angle, and no one's home. That's a tough ball to read as a defender in the back row.
Absolutely.
Big swing by number 9. What handled well by Chandler Bow. Oh, there's the return shot. There it is. Wow. Rusty Levaya going to the 10-foot line, opens it up, and corks the ball.
Hey, Chandler with a great pass on a very tough jump serve.
Absolutely. That was looking a lot like this morning. He was really, really ringing balls in to make sure that the Stingers were in system.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Toss, float serves goes up. Pass well, Tyrants can go to the pin. That's a tight ball. They're able to find it though. Setter's out. High ball goes to the pin. Swing from Langlois. Dug by the Tyrants. 3 guys going for the set. Able to find one. Dan Nugent swings deep into the corner. That's a big swing from Langlois. Oh. But that is absolutely shut down by number 4, Ian Cap.
That was a beautiful job of showing it and taking it away.
Absolutely clinical.
Jake's like, wait a second, where'd that guy come from?
Yeah. Go low, seal angle, and that little bit of sunshine disappears very quickly.
Seriously.
All right, we're going to just ignore that that one happened for you there, Race. You've had a fantastic rotation. We're not going to worry about that missed contact there, big guy.
He's human.
All right, Jorge Mencia back on the service line, goes for the float. Goes in, that's a good serve receive. Tennessee Tyrants. Wow, big Storm dig there. 3 touches happens real quick accidentally. I think I'm saying it quite a bit, but Tennessee Tyrants are in system. That seems to be a state of permanence right now.
Yeah, and their passing has just been off the charts, like so good. Of course, I will say this, the Stingers aren't really putting a whole lot of pressure on them from the service line. Like, doesn't seem like any of the guys on that side of the court have a whole lot, like nothing like that. Holy smokes.
And that's the 3rd guy we've seen for the Tyrants go back and hit a jump serve like that. So we'll have to see the Stingers either be a little bit more strategic with who they're targeting, or they got to turn up the heat a bit, I think, here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, Jake has a jump serve. I haven't seen him bring it out yet. Maybe right now. Maybe it's time. Down 6.
I was going to say, you got a runway back there. Time to get that arm warm because you're going to need it in games 2 and 3 here.
All right.
There it is.
There it is.
Gets the overpass. Russ Holmes cuts it back. And
that's the difference right there. It's all about service pressure.
I got to say, I've been really impressed by the level of the liberos that we've seen all day. And Ryan Alou is touching everything. And you can tell that the way he's talking to his guys, he is controlling serve receive. He knows exactly what seams he's got, and it is taking control of the serve receive over here for the Tyrants.
That's awesome.
Oh, that was not the contact that Langlois wanted there, and so that's going into the bottom of the tape.
If he was trying to do that off-speed serve, but yeah, it was way off-speed.
Might have gotten away from him just a bit. All right, this is going to be Dan Nugent on the back line here for the Tyrants.
Nice serve, handled well.
Yep. Big swing for Jorge Mencia. Good stop by the Tyrants. Ball goes high. Chandler swings high to the outside.
Oh, high
and Storm goes high into the triple block. Finds it deep off the hands.
That's crazy. He looks like a kind of like a, I don't know, like a tailback. Just
seriously.
Not a guy that can jump the way he jumps.
Almost a fullback, that little fire plug, and
right.
just mashing balls off the high hands.
Man.
He's finding a lot of success when he attacks the outside hand there. Good serve by Russ. That kind of goes to isolates a lot of your offense because he's serving behind the setter there. So that's a tough set for number 1 over there with the Tyrants for Ryan Kenny to find his outside, or for anyone but his outside. So good blocking move followed up, and that's a shutdown for the Stingers.
Yeah, finally Leo Durkin got a hand on one.
Yeah. Dan Nugent looks like he might be the new serving target. Jorge swings back, and the ball coming over to us. That's a game ball touch.
Game touch.
Love it.
Within 3, finally the Tyrants want to talk about some things and see if they can get that momentum back on their side of the net.
Yeah, and one thing I think that we were kind of mentioning earlier, that either Stingers got to turn up the heat or they got to find a better target. And Russ Holmes there going with a different target than we've seen, going after number 10 there, Dan Nugent. Might be time to start drilling him, see if he can handle the pressure, because we're seeing a lot of great passes from the other 2 guys back there.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that's probably one of the things that the Stingers are talking about right now, like serve that dude all day.
Yeah.
And stop serving this other guy or this guy because they're nails.
You see Futi turn around like that, and he's like, that's our guy.
Yeah, that is Foodie. I haven't seen that guy in forever.
Yeah, I got a chance to actually play with the Stingers. We had a little event out in February, and
cool.
the Stingers and the Ramblers made a joint roster. We played out in, where was it, Jersey.
No
and so,
way.
yeah, so I got to play with a bunch of the Stingers guys, and that's where I got a chance to learn more about them.
Right on. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, good dudes.
Oh, yeah. I was playing middle blocker, actually. It was me and Russ.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm an outside hitter, so that was
yeah,
an
that's rough. Yeah, holy smokes. No, thank you.
But Russ Holmes on the back line once again. We'll see what that talk maybe gave them for strategy. And once again, Dan Nugent is their guy.
Yeah,
but it's a good pass. Wow. But I mean, he handled that serve well. Gave a big approach for Ian Kapp, and I think we got a little insight on the sideline. Olivia, what did you hear that during that timeout?
Yeah, on the Tyrant side, the coach wants to see them do a better job at hitting deep. And as far as serving goes, he says we need to stay on the gas pedal, high risk, high reward.
Nice.
Whenever you got a coach that's really backing up your guys, giving everyone a green light like that, that's a big time. And once again, Race Munger with the 3rd block of the game for him.
Dude, already. Yeah,
that is
was big.
Insane.
Yeah. Russ is like, okay, all right, you barely got that. Like straight down.
Float serve goes in once again, handled by Chandler, but it's forcing an outside high ball, and that's Storm swinging for it, but no one is there. And that ball's going to go long.
Yeah, trying to hit that deep corner and spatched it out a little bit.
That's their 2nd timeout. Or no, sorry, that was a Tyrants timeout previously. Now we got a Stingers timeout.
Yeah, and I think that's a good call too, because they're down quite a bit here late in this first set. And I'll tell you, the Tyrants came out hot. They've been playing really well.
Absolutely. And that was one thing I was kind of talking about this morning with the Stingers. They were able to win that first game 29-27, but they did not look good. They were tipping a lot of balls and barely able to scrap it together. But right around game 2, Ontario Matadors really turned it on. In game 3, they were really a high-energy team. If anyone missed that, it's a lot of that Puerto Rican. If you've ever seen Puerto Rican volleyball, very, very high energy, and those guys were out there. And right around game 4, you saw the Stingers start to make those adjustments and kind of ring it back in, and that's what they've got to do here. At the end of game 3, they said, we're not worrying about winning this. Let's start controlling it so when we get into games 4 and push for a game 5, we're where we want to be. Maybe right now that's the strategy with only 3 points to go for the Tyrants.
Yeah, it's a nice timeout there, Coach.
Coach Point, yep. Futi earns one, gets the high
five for the whole bench.
High fives all the way down. Great players respect great coaches.
Oh, that's
all right.
funny. That's funny. I love it.
That's going to put Durkin on the back line with a float serve going into number 10 once again. And, you know, we were sitting
Race
there.
is the man.
Race Munger is absolutely dominating game 1 with 5 points scored. But, you know, we were sitting here wondering, is number 10, Dan Nugent, going to be the one to get targeted? And they're targeting him, but he is handling the pressure just fine, putting them in system. Tyrants go up with the float serve. That's going to be a tight ball.
Oh, that's nice.
That is a great set. Way to hold that on your side, Leo Durkin.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, Race was like, oh, I'm going to eat this up. And it was a great job by Leo to control that, get it right in the hands of Russ, and ba-boom.
Levia's there to finish that ball off. Storm goes for that little hybrid toss. Once again, Dan Nugent handles, goes to the outside. And number 4, I thought that was a big touch. Maybe I missaw that on the outside hand. I got a camera I'm looking through, though, so. That was, man, Ian Cap, that kid flies.
Yeah, he really does. That kid gets up.
I think he's their right side. I thought he was an outside, and he's just, that D-ball he was hitting earlier, he was soaring. But here he goes once again, high hands.
It's up.
Well dug by the Stingers there. Now we got a tip. Oh, that was well hidden, but that's a good up by the setter from the Tyrants. Number 9 goes for a swing. Rusty Levia says, not today. Drops that inside right hand, closes the angle off, and that is a great block move for Rusty.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I used to say they tried to hit out of a phone booth, but nowadays everyone's like, what's a phone booth? So I'm like, well, it made sense in the time.
It's like trying to make a phone call without service.
Right, there you go.
All right, Dan Nugent once again the target, and
whoa! Oh, look at that
Munger.
up!
That's
Chandler.
a great up by Chandler. That's a double contact, not going to get called, and Race finds the bottom of the tape.
His second human move of the night. Everything else has just been outer world.
Once again, though, Chandler Bow just absolutely anchoring this team with a sense of consistency that just keeping balls alive. And
that was amazing.
That was a great dig, keeping
Point
them in
blank.
system. Yes. Palms up, a little bit of a prayer, and
Right.
keeps them live. Here comes Storm with that hybrid float serve. A little bit of miscommunication with the Tyrants, but Ian Cap going to send that one over. Jorge keeps it up. Quick run to the middle. Doug, that's a pancake, and a little bit of a miscommunication there.
That was the down ref's call, but I think he missed that one too. I don't think he got it, but it doesn't matter.
From my angle, I saw I think he had that one pretty
Oh, did
clean.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on.
But that's a great late game push here by the Stingers. That's a 4 or 5 point run that's going to put them right in striking contention for this game 1.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was okay. Well, just trying to get some momentum for game 2, but man, they're within 1 now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Tyrants, almost, you know, losing that is almost worse than winning the game in the sense that the amount of momentum you're losing right now is just not the way you want to be going into game 2. They got to find their way, and I think right now I'm really going to, on a good pass, go to Race Munger in the middle, or am I saying that right? Is it Race? Yeah, Race Munger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Race Munger in the middle, but if you got a ball out, then we're throwing outside of that to that little guy, Ian Cap, and let him fly.
Yeah, just set it high. Let the guy go up and get it. Yeah, Race the answer Munger. I think that guy needs to get set a ton.
Right now,
How
Storm,
tall is he? He's got to be like 6'9", 6'10".
I don't know. When I'm sitting, I can't tell.
He's
a
really-
big dude.
Oh, Coach Point.
Hey, Coach Point, get the high fives from the boys. Coach knows what he did.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
All right, we got number 9, Jake Milnaziak on the back line.
He's got a pretty tough jump serve.
Yes, he does. He absolutely puts some speed on.
Ooh,
Misses that one long. Stingers catch a bit of a break there. I mean, that's game point, and they're watching that one. That's a lot of confidence. But coming into the end here, I think Olivia's got a little bit for us. Olivia, where you at?
Yeah, in that last Stingers timeout, the coach was really stressing, hey, the setter is going to tell us where he's going. We really need to stay disciplined and focus on our blocking defense.
Speaking of blocking defense.
You say it, and like clockwork, delivering the little tidbit of gold. That's a triple block from the Stingers. Absolutely shut Dan Nugent down. And right now, it's critical that they find a good pass in this serve receive so they can run the middle or backside. Because I don't think if Dan's going to get camped like that, I don't think he's your go-to.
Yeah, no way.
That's a rough pass, but they keep it alive. Libero shoves it into the corner. Storm fills in, finds it out. Good back set. Jorge finds the swing, but there's a one-handed dig by the setter for the Tyrants. Quick set goes to the middle. Russ Holmes with a cutback like the consummate pro he is. Russell Holmes.
That's awesome.
Finding the lead for the first time this match for the Stingers.
That's crazy. They were down huge. I can't believe they have the lead right now this late in the set.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a sub come in right now. Number 6 for the Tyrants. That's going to be Eddie Kiesecker.
Sicker.
And he's going to be coming in for Dan Nugent there. So looks like the Stingers were able to get Dan where they wanted him and get some changes.
I was going to say, I wonder who's going to get this first ball.
Yeah. Deep swing by Race, dug by Storm with a great touch off the block. High ball. This is going to be a chop by Langlois here. Well handled by the libero on the Tyrants. Goes to the outside. And that is a one-on-one game-ending block.
Wow.
For Jorge Mencia. And man, if he didn't have a morning enough, comes back and answers back in the evening.
Oh my gosh, Han Solo out there. That's a big time block right there.
Absolutely.
Nobody anywhere near that ball but him, and closes the door. That's rough, man. If you're in the Tyrant side, it's just like, dude, we had that.
Yeah, and the big thing that Stingers were really seeming to do well that I was kind of saying, this morning was the brains versus the brawn. I kept preaching. Those young Puerto Rican guys, they were flying, and so they've got a lot of that energy, the athleticism. But you've got a bunch of guys that have been there. They've seen that pressure. They've seen that show. Yeah. They've played in front of a very loud, very large crowd. And so they actually, what they do very well is they know how to control the speed of the game. So when things aren't quite going their way, they buy themselves enough time to really figure out what's going to take to score some points. They use both of their timeouts. They find their serving targets. Olivia said, they're talking about how do they fix their blocking. They come back, make a triple move, and everything they wanted to do just leveled up slowly throughout that game.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. They were like all over the place in the beginning and kind of slowly started to kind of get their feet under them. And then towards the end, the momentum just was rolling for them. And the more your momentum goes, the more confidence and everything. Yeah, those guys, by the end of that set, I don't know. This might just go 3 if they continue to up their game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, their confidence level is going to be real high.
That was 22-16 when the Stingers decided it was their turn to take over. Wow. And at that point, a lot of teams will roll over, and that's where a match speeds up. But instead, the Stingers extended the game. They earned themselves about 10 more points to play, find their system, figure out how they're going to win. And right now, if you're the Tyrants, you got to find a way that you're going to answer back in game 2, because Stingers found their game at the end of that there.
22-16. That doesn't happen. Like, you don't come back from 22-16. No. That's amazing.
No, that's the one where you hope for 4 points. You get to 20. You find some of that good momentum. You've outscored them one or 2 points to their 3. You find yourself in a good place. And
wow. Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, hey, we won that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so I don't know. Game 2 will be interesting to see what the Tyrants come back with and the changes that they make.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the big things that we know, as a guy that's worked with BYU so much, exactly what we're going to see from these guys for the Stingers. But something I'm really excited to see, though, I want to see the Tyrants get tested.
Yeah.
Let's see how they answer back. This is a great opportunity to kind of get knocked back a little bit, but now they're going to answer back, and we're going to see what they're bringing to this. And by the way, for anyone that hasn't been following, we do not switch sides right now. We're trying to keep the athletes safe. We're wiping everything down between games here, so being mindful of COVID, athletes are maintaining the same side. No swaps occur at any point. So you're going to see yellow and orange maintaining their spots in the court.
Yep, there's no such thing as a good side, bad side anymore. It is what it is.
It is the side, but everyone's going to have their chance of being home and away.
That's right. You make it what you make it.
I can't even remember off the top of my head, actually, who the guy is, right, or what side right now has got all the wins, because it truly is a good side, bad side now, actually. I'd be curious to see where that's at.
I know. I'm same here. Well, I know sometimes, because I coach, my son plays the under 18, and this is the gym that they play in. But sometimes during the day, man, the sun is brutal from those windows.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we get into this, Olivia's got a little update for us. Olivia, take it away.
Thanks, Nick. In that Tyrants huddle, the coach's main offensive point was we cannot swing low or we're going to get blocked. We have to swing high. And when it comes to passing, he said, I'd rather see us take a step back than be up on the net. But overall, he said, we need to keep our heads up. That was a great set.
Absolutely. I mean, makes sense when we saw how that started to kind of get out of control for them. That's pretty good input from the coach.
Absolutely. I totally agree. That was a nice swing there across court from Jorge.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to be a serve. Number 4 comes in. Once again, Tyrants in system, but a bit of a low set. Comes to the middle. That's a great defensive move there on the side by Ian Kapp. Set goes deep. handled well, and once again, we're in system going back for a high swing, handled by the Stingers very well, goes to a middle, doesn't quite connect. Storm saves the ball. Tyrants Libero picks it up, and we got a roll shot coming in from the middle. Big high ball set, big swing coming from Storm, once again doing what he does best, and goes for that high hands.
Storm's like, just chuck it into the sky. I'll go get it.
5 feet in, 5 feet off. Let me show these guys what I can do.
It's crazy. Yeah, that was his thing at BYU, too. They just chuck it high for that guy and let him go up and get it.
Absolutely, and something that we're going to see a little bit different here, the one substitution that the Tyrants have made is Eddie Kiesecker is actually going to be starting here compared to Dan Nugent from last match. So we'll see what he can do. And it's a tough pass, a little bit of a bailout, but wow, the setter bettered that ball, and that's a net by number 5, but no call is made. Jorge Mencia chops it right into the middle.
It's a great set from Leo Durkin right there.
Absolutely.
Talk about better the ball. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Leo with another opportunity here back from the service line.
This morning, Durkin was kind of plagued by struggling to connect with the outsides a bit. He was setting them really tight, and they were forced to tip a lot. And it looks like its connection is a little bit better, but going to continue to improve over the next couple days, I think.
Dude, Race is huge. He's got to be like 6'10", 6'11".
He hit well over that block. Unfortunately, he missed the court, but you know, if they can start connecting with that guy, a lot of the points he contributed early on were blocks, but you know, if they can find him offensively, that'll be something to start up for them.
Absolutely. Well,
great flat serve. There's a big route. First one we've seen from the Tyrants, dug by the Stingers. High ball goes inside. Storm swings into it. That's a great move. Wow, that is a great touch. Was that Chandler?
I'm not sure who got that one.
I couldn't see it, but I think that was Chandler Baugh, the libero back there, just absolutely finding a lip for it.
Wow.
Langlois unfortunately unable to come up with it, but Tyrants trying a little bit to widen the arsenal, spread the blocking out, and not get some triple blocks in their face there. Jake Mamaziak absolutely blasts that ball. That's the third time on the service line, and he is crushing that ball every time. Good swing, way to use the block there, and that's Ian Cap getting used as the ball goes just wide by Langlois there.
Keene University. Do you know where Keene University
Couldn't
is?
tell you.
I know, seriously. I was looking at all these guys, and I know they're back east. Was that the Carolinas Conference, maybe? But, oh, it's a nice job by Chandler to lay off that one.
Yep.
But I know, so I made this comment in the last match, is I was like, well, these guys, you know, the Ramblers are kind of more, you know, West Coast. A lot of the players come from those types of schools, and the Freedom was more East Coast. And I thought, boy, they're not going to have as big a pool of athletes to choose from. But, boy, they were really good. And I'm watching these guys.
Wow.
They're really good.
That was a great diving move back there by number 4, Leo Durkin. Unfortunately, the Tyrants were still ready for it and able to put it right away, but
that was a big swing. I think Leo's from Vegas, actually.
Is he really?
If I remember right, yeah.
Yeah, that's been an interesting thing working with the Ramblers, recruiting players and just kind of learning where everyone's from. I've found how much talent sits in the New York tri-state area.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a big swing coming our way, and that ball did not touch the block there. That's going to be off the top of the tape, and that's going to go wide for Jorge Mencia. Once again, we got the especially bouncy middle up front for the Tyrants here, number 18, Thomas Burrell. I talk about the middle, and Ian Cap shows that I should be talking about the right side. Big swing from Ian Cap there, putting away the overpass that Race Munger handed him on a silver platter.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least say thank you. It was an amazing set for you. A little top spin and everything.
Yep.
Nice serve, handled well.
Quick back one that's handled, and Tyrants are going to be out of system. That's a nice
set.
set.
Holy smokes.
That's once again kind of that note that we heard from Olivia, though. Cannot swing low seam right now.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in system, sure, try to go beat that middle blocker if he's laid out there. But when you got a high ball going to the outside,
right,
you know Russ Holmes is going to be there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Or Rusty Levia. There's either Russ is going to put you in a tough spot. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're very good, very disciplined blocking team.
That's a great swing there. Find a pickup by the
double,
Stingers.
but oh, look at that. It's a nice move there by Jake.
Tyrants are less than pleased with a variety of calls in that play, but
or no calls, right?
But that's going to land. Wow, Rusty Levia on the back line once again. It's a float serves handled well by the Tyrants. They're in system and tight.
Oh, Jake's like, I let him swing. I didn't want to try to get tooled. Yeah, right.
I don't know if Ian Cap was even swinging for a court. He was swinging for a yellow jersey there. And he almost found 2 of them.
That was a big-time swing, just out of bounds.
Float serves come once again and handled in a decent manner, but that's going to force a high ball to the outside, chop down the line, and that's just not quite the swing. I think the one weakness we're starting to see right now for the Tyrants is they don't really have a second outside, but
yeah.
And with that being said, we're going to see number 10, Dan Nugent, coming right back in, and that's going to be number 6, Eddie Kiesecker, exiting the court.
Sometimes, though, it's nice to give your guy a break, a breather to kind of just find his feet and find his confidence again. So we'll see if he can come back and bring it.
Absolutely, but
that's rough.
Bring it is not the words that happened right there.
That's a smart serve right there. Just goes short.
Yep. Find the guy cold off the bench, go after him, and make him pass. Absolutely love to see that, but you know, one of the things we saw earlier today that Matadors were finding a lot of success is when they were passing well, even if the outside that wasn't hitting for points, if they were able to pass, they were finding kills from their big hitters.
Yeah.
So Dan Nugent right now needs to find a way to stop the bleeding of the 0-2, find a good pass, and see if some of the other guys on the Tyrants are able to put some offense forward.
Dude, Jorge's money out there. I've never really seen him play before. He's very, very good at getting a kill.
What he's really been doing is he gets around the outside of the ball. So when he's swinging back into the court. So if you're not disciplined pushing back into the court, he uses the outside hand of the blocker especially well and really forces them to make a move. And right now the Tyrants aren't making it, so they're getting tooled a lot.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. It's the last match, Grosso on your team, so good.
Yeah.
I said he's greasy off the block, man. He's just so good at just finding the block and tooling him.
Yep, absolutely.
That's an amazing skill to have.
Yeah, the Ramblers, some might say plagued by, we like to say littered with 0-2s, and so we've got to play a little bit of a different game. And you know that was he was finding a lot of tip kills, swipes, and
yeah,
you know it's a lot of the same thing that we're seeing from Storm right now. Is just find those hands and swing away.
Yeah, break some fingers.
Yeah, I think Jake's not quite producing in the way that we'll see him producing later.
Yeah.
But again, when you got Jorge on the backside and the middle established, like Jake will have a chance to find his way.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's a good dig by Storm coming to the
totally.
middle, and Russ Holmes
that's
finds
a
the
nice
swing
one as well.
Great dig by the Tyrant setter. Huge move, and once again, I think that's a net from number 2.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yep, as he pushed over the net, he pushed into the net. Yep, that was a big net. He's going to disagree there, but I saw that too. Oh, that's a great call by the down ref.
He's like, I can't win with these guys. Nobody's happy, no matter what I do.
Yep. We're going to see Ian Cap on the back line right now. I've been pretty impressed by the setter, Ryan Kenny, over on the Tyrants, playing some great defense. He's had a couple diving moves, and he's finding some big digs and keeping them rallying right now.
Whoa.
Big serve. Storm handles well, goes to the outside. Jorge has the bailout, finds that angle,
on
but
the way
it's in.
up.
Oh, my. He forces your blockers to go a little bit more line. He cuts it inside and just not able to find it here. But like we said, we got to see the Tyrants find out how they're going to reply here. And they're down 6 points. It's a short serve. Handled well by Ryan, the libero. Big swing out, and that's a nice little tool off the top there for the middle. At number 18, that's Thomas Burrell.
Man, that was a big time swing.
He gets up on top of that. He hit that down into Russ Holmes.
That was into Russ Holmes.
Russ is a big boy, and that is a big difference in height.
Yeah.
I've got to say, you know, the Tyrants have one of the most diverse all-around jump serving teams we've seen, though. Stunners put on a clinic today against Southern Exposure from the back line, but these guys have a lot of guys that are hitting jump serves well.
Oh, yeah, they do. In fact, that's one thing, I think that might be the weakness for the Stingers, is they really don't bring a ton of service pressure.
Absolutely. So if teams are handling the ball well and they're not able to pick apart targets and seams on the Stingers, that's definitely a way to exploit that roster, but that's a huge swing over there. Finding a deep corner. Yeah, that's one of those like undiggable balls over the right shoulder of a libero. It's a tough ball.
Yeah, that's when you just kind of like, hey, nice job. Okay, our turn.
Yeah. Burrell back to serve, hits that float, and he's had a lot of success as well. Great pass by Chandler, goes to the outside. Storm one-on-one, but that's a great ball. There goes to the outside for the Tyrants. Number 9 with his chop down the line. Jorge Mencia looks like he's over, but makes it work.
But yeah, he wasn't even looking.
No call there. Storm with a dig is an off blocker here, high ball, and that's a big attempted touch by Russ, but once again, Race is showing that he's not quite been able to connect with his setter, but give him a blocker or the other overpass, and he'll show you how to put a ball away.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. They don't seem to connect very well offensively, but man, as a blocker, dude, that guy touches everything.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a great float once again. I think he's one of their only float servers, and Jorge is forced to roll shot over. Ball kept alive, goes to the outside, though. Big swing out there by Jake Milnaziak. Jorge goes and right back at him, though. This is a battle of the left side 9s. Jorge Mencia back row with Jake Milnaziak front row. We are getting a treat as these two take swings at each other.
Absolutely. He doesn't look like he'd be able to hit the ball like he hits it. I mean, no offense. I mean, he's not like he's like a weak-looking guy, but that guy just crushes the ball.
Whether it's from the front row, the back row, the service line, he is going after it. Dan Nugent gets a pass. Milnaziak once again finding a way to battle. Love seeing it, too. He's fired up. That guy's getting points, and he makes sure his guys know this is how we're going to find this. So players like that, Ian Cap reminds me, honestly, they look so similar in terms of how they're playing this game. Big swings from the pin.
Yeah.
Great serve, short, forcing the Stingers out of system. Good up by Ian Cap. That's a nice set from the middle. Got a swing over the shoulder.
Oh, no.
Race Munger with a little Donkey Kong slam into the corner. Flex your bicep, big guy. That's a great set by Ryan Kenny over his shoulder.
Better stretch that out after. He can hurt himself.
Yeah. Storm with a little bit of a jam pass there and forced the free ball over. Push deep, received, and once again, Milnaziak, more like Milnastiak. That guy's got a swing.
He really does. That guy has an absolute cannon. Whew. That's good stuff.
He's been a lot of fun to watch. I'll be curious how many kills he's already racked up. He's definitely got something going on over there.
For real. The setter just keeps feeding him, and heck yeah, why wouldn't you?
Jorge Mencia finally gets stopped. Who else?
Yeah,
Race Munger shows them how it's done. They finally get the right lineup there, and you know, Stingers really, for the last 6 or 7 points, they've not been able to pass well, and they are just hucking balls back to Jorge Mencia, hoping that he can get them out of a tough spot.
Yeah, that's their second area or weakness maybe is their passing. If it's not dialed in, they're just out of system all day and struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, some of these younger teams where you got these guys fresh out of college, you go to a high ball offense and they're happy.
Yeah.
They're stoked to see it, but the Stingers really want to see themselves in system, establishing a middle, and then opening their pins up. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
One of my biggest eye-openers was realizing that BYU, their hand signals, I don't know how different the sets are. The tempo's a little different. They do not run a common system. So their middles run a 4, which is normally a 1 for the average middle player. And I got to tell you, as a guy that's an outside hitter that hits a 4 and then was trying to play a middle blocker off of a setter for the Stingers, I was getting all sorts of confused.
You're like, wait, what am I hitting?
You want what?
That's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Good pass by Storm, but that's tight, and that's forced to free ball over and crawls over the net. That looks like that's absolutely over. Yep. Unfortunately, that's gonna pull Rusty Lavaya over the net, hanging a little bit of a slice of pizza for him, and he's going after that bad boy.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
Good pass, but it's gonna force one single option, but Race getting used high as Storm really challenges him high inside hand there.
Yeah, that was the set me pass.
Oh yeah.
No other options.
Oh yeah. 2 feet more off the outside, and that gets really tough as a blocker because you have a quick set to the middle and a quick set to the outside. You can also run a bick off the backside of you. Really becomes tough.
Yeah, it gets a lot of options.
High roll to the corner, picked up by Langlois, and then Mencia, there it is. Oh, chop by Ian Cap into the net. But yeah, absolutely.
So the Stingers are clinging to a 4-point lead right now. It seemed like they were going to run away with it, but bad passing and not a whole lot of serving pressure, the Tyrants are staying close.
Yep, that's a good pass, but Dan Nugent, like you said, and there it is, the high point of contact. That's what you're going to see, I think, right now from Race Munger. There's not a lot of snaps that he's coming over the top. They're still not quite connecting, but if you're 6'10" and you're going over the top of Rusty Lavaya,
yeah,
that's a tough ball to pick up.
That's a big swing.
You can paddle balls down all day, you know, right around that 10-foot line. Those are tough digs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thunder.
That man is on fire. Jake Milmaziak has a cannon.
Yeah, he really does. Like, I want to like get out my phone and like video that.
Yeah, I'll take it. There's two of us now, so one of us can take a break and just watch that guy swing.
I'll be back in a minute.
He's really setting himself up with some good tempo tosses. That's a big swing out of the back row.
That's as good of a side out as that was. It's really just all about getting Jake off the back line, for heaven's sakes.
Absolutely.
Holy smokes, that guy's dangerous.
Yep. But like we said, this is one of those things that I've been impressed by both these teams' ability to stop the bleeding. They're finding ways to get meaningful runs, close the gap in the score that they've lost control of. Look at this rally. That's a great dig, covering up his middle. Goes to the outside, high ball, and that's going to force a tip over the top. Tyrants are back in, going to the outside, and they force a swing.
What was that? Dan Nugent was like, I don't even know if he jumped. He just like ran to the ball and hit it. It was weird.
He had a ball to hit, and he hit that ball. Forced a little bit of a shank there in the back row by the Stingers.
Oh, shoot. I was thinking that the set that went to Munger was low. That's the only reason it was blocked. If he put that ball another foot or two higher, he's went over the top of whoever's trying to block it.
Yeah, we got a little serving sub here. Peter Namiotko coming in for the Tyrants. I assume this is a serving sub, not a middle blocker substitution here.
I think
for Munger.
Right. Yeah, I can't
this late into the game, yeah. Ooh, unfortunate, but sometimes that happens. That's the, that's the risk that the coach is saying is worth doing, because, if he can make, he knows something we don't.
Right,
so that's his guy, but I'm sure we'll see a little bit more from him later. But for now, Race Munger grabs some bench.
Yeah. Russ Lavaya back to serve for the Stingers. Just a jump floaty.
Solid float. Handled well by Nugent. Goes to the outside and absolute. Wow. You got to love a player that's willing to cover. Jake Milmaziak putting his face in there trying to find a dig.
I love the energy of Jake. That kid is just, he's bouncy, like you said.
He's infectious.
Yeah, he really is.
He's fun to watch, and man, if you're his teammate, you're thrilled to have that guy banging balls.
Oh yeah, you're talking about having an emotional leader out there on the court, and that's that guy all day.
Also, I think a fairly unsung hero right now is number 5, Ryan Alu. That guy he is pulling digs on cover balls out of everywhere.
Yeah, he is really, really good at his job. That's the thing. Normally about like libero, it's like, they're doing their job when you don't really talk about them.
Yep. It's funny. I was talking with the Ramblers coach, Vinny Rodriguez, about that. We were having conversations. Our libero actually wasn't able to make it last minute. So with our army of O2s, we're finding out who's going to be filling in that gold jersey.
Right.
And, and he was saying it's hard to tell because, the best liberos, you don't even know they're there.
Absolutely. It's almost like a ref. Like, just don't affect the game. Just do your job and be quiet, and then do your job, and that's the thing with like a libero. It's the same thing. It's just be quiet, do your job, pass well, dig balls, and then go away.
It's true, and that's one of those things that the NBA decided they were going to put a headset on me. I really love elevating and highlighting what good liberos are doing, because young players I don't think appreciate a good libero enough, and also a lot of young liberos don't see how important their job is, and really you control the game from the back row front, and
So Rich Lamborn, the BYU, and then went to the USA team. One of the best liberos. Like, he's so good. And I remember talking to him after they won the gold in 08. And I'm like, so are you making, and he's like, dude, I'm a libero. Nobody appreciates liberos. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, because that's the thing. If you've got a guy that can handle 100-mile-an-hour serves and hits that are the same and just passing perfectly, and it's like, yeah, you don't appreciate that? Like, how could you not?
Their touches are often so fast that the play kind of has moved on before that. And, I think middle blockers, honestly, great middle blockers go into the same thing, because a lot of times you don't quite – that honestly I thought was clean, but That's a big, wow, off-block dig there by Chandler.
Dude,
Chopped down
nobody out.
line, picked up by number 4 here. Ted Nugent looking to keep that alive.
Oh, no.
Russ, somebody jacked the net up over there, and it's a little bit taller than the last time Russ Holmes saw some court time, but
that's the oldest trick in the book.
Once again, though, the Tyrants are, closing that gap down. I think the point went the wrong way there. I think it's 18-21, so.
Oh, wow.
The Tyrants are really keeping that 3-point lead, and so, it's hard to feel comfortable as the Stingers here because you're not opening that up. Tyrants are finding a way to battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I was to say with
there he is once again finding that pancake, chopped down the line. Jake Milnaziak does it all. He's got a cannon, swings that cross-court swing, finds him deep. All of a sudden, off speed down the line, finds a little bit of a nap in Jorge Mencia back there, and absolutely makes him pay for it.
Yeah, as soon as he gets you back on your heels, then that's when he does that, and you're like, what the?
That's a good dig by number 4 here. Ian Kapp finding a way to keep it alive for the Tyrants, forcing a pass from front row. Go back to Russ Holmes, goes for a tip, but there's another dig by the libero. Little hack swing here from the middle in the Tyrants. But that's a big block. Another pancake up.
Tip fest.
They're calling that one down. But you really got to acknowledge that this back row team from the Tyrants are not letting anything fall.
Yeah, they're like Freedom. Freedom was really scrappy.
Oh, man.
Oh my
Freedom
gosh.
is a very, very disciplined team, and one of the biggest strengths of their roster is they've been together for forever. So those guys know each other like the back of their hand.
Gotcha. That's huge. Oh, nice job.
Wow, wait, getting a ball back for the Tyrants there, but
Hey Russ, what a set! Look at there's your guy again. Holy smokes, another big dig just out of bounds. But what a nice scoop right there on a big swing.
You know, not knowing what we were expecting coming in, I'm feeling like we're getting a pretty good look at the Tyrants, and I don't know what their depth looks like on the bench, but this is a showing for these guys that they should be proud of for sure.
Seriously.
Oh my goodness. I swear every time we say one thing, they insist on one-upping it. You want to be proud. There's a big swing out of the middle from number 18, Thomas Burrell.
It's like the kill of the night right there.
Just hammered that ball. You know, we're seeing a lot of range from him. He's really keeping himself open to the setter, and he's showing he can go left and right with that ball. Good serve. Langlois keeps it alive. Free ball's coming over from Chandler. Set goes up, and see, this is what I love from middle blockers. Not enough people talk about it. Race Munger goes up, keeps Russ Holmes in the middle, and he gives his boy Jake Milnaziak one-on-one. And if you think that guy's not scoring that,
I was going to say, yeah, you're not stopping that guy with a one-on-one.
Not a chance, especially with the front row setter, typically not your strongest blockers. That's a great selection by the Tyrants here.
That's a great call by you, too, because that's big time. And that's the thing. He hasn't set race a whole lot, but still, you got to freaking stay with your guy.
Yep.
And that makes a one-on-one on the outside.
So that's going to be Stingers taking this one 25-21. Able to kind of hold on to that 3 to 4 point lead and escort themselves to a win in game 2. So now we're seeing the Tyrants a little bit backs against the wall. So we're going to challenge that grit, see what they can do, see maybe a couple more players from the bench, and maybe see what they got.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm the Tyrants, just keep serving strong. Like keep the pace on those jump serves, and maybe go after. Like I wouldn't go after the libero. Chandler's just playing too well. Maybe Jake, and if Jake's front row, serve him short, whatever. But I'm telling you, their serve is what's going to keep them in this match.
And I got to tell you, I'm seeing a comment over here. They're like Freedom with a winky face in our chat. And, I'm not certain, so I was a little hesitant to say this live, but I'm pretty sure the Tyrants group is in the same gym as Freedom. I think this is a lot of the Freedom guys that when they were putting together another roster, an 8th team was needed.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm pretty sure that this is another part of Team Freedom. So I could be mistaken. I don't know how many guys they've grabbed from wherever else. But, a big strength of Team Freedom is if you ever go check those guys out on Instagram or social media, they are methodical with their social media. They get reps for their guys. You have seen them online. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Some of the biggest, most viral videos are Team Freedom. They know how to get their guys marketed. And as a result, they have a really, really sound gym that you make a phone call and all of a sudden, Tennessee Tyrants are born.
That's so cool.
All right, so with this third set, though, I'm assuming that we're not going to see anything new for the Stingers. I think that I think they're tried and true. They've pulled 2 wins out here. We're going to see them coming back. But I'm curious to see what the Tyrants, if they've got maybe another outside they want to bring in. Ian Cap slowed down a little bit in that game on the right side. Still a lot of pressure that he's applying.
Yeah.
So do they make any changes? Maybe there's another middle in there somewhere. But, you know, honestly, the Tyrants are battling. The setter's looking good. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if they have another OH2. Did Dan take his jersey off? Or is
No.
Oh, that's not Dan.
No, Dan's still.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Dan's playing okay, but I don't think he's really an offensive threat. He got blocked quite a few times.
Yeah.
In that one. But I mean, I don't know. Other than that, I think everybody else is why change anything, right?
Yeah. It looks like we're actually going to see a slight adjustment with number 14 there. He came in as a serving sub last game.
Okay.
That is Peter Namiotko. And he came in as a serving sub actually for, we saw him come in
for Race.
Yeah, for Race Munger there. So we're seeing a totally different look there.
Huh.
And I think we're getting a little more insight here. Olivia, take it away. Oh, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll get back to her in a second here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing number 1, Ryan Kenny, lining up as a hitter. I could be mistaken.
What?
Nope, there he goes. Okay. For a second, I was thinking that they put him up in an outside position there, and I was about to be surprised.
Yeah, that would have been a real shock.
All right, we got Olivia here. We've resolved those technical difficulties. Olivia, what do you got?
Thanks, Nick. To add some commentary on these changes, they were specifically looking to mix up some matchups on the net against Jake Langlois.
Okay, interesting.
Goodness.
If you're looking to mix up some matchups, that's one that is going to go number 18, Thomas Burrell's way.
Jeez, that guy is amazing.
He's showing a lot of that range.
Yeah, they need to line somebody up against that dude.
You know, it's interesting. I think Olivia's like 8 for 8 right now. I love it. Every time we're hearing some takeaways that she's bringing back to the broadcast about what coaches are talking about, we're seeing these guys execute on those changes.
That's awesome.
And I think it really speaks to what the NBA is doing here, because we're having players that are not just good players, but they're really able to figure out what their team needs to do, and then they're executing on it. And that really is a very disciplined thing, and it sounds obvious, but when you've been removed from the game in the regular D1 or something like that lifestyle, it takes some time to develop.
Right. And that's
there
the
you
thing. Yeah, and that's the thing with this level. These guys are coachable still. As good as they are as athletes, they're coachable and like, yeah, all right, coach, yeah, I like that. And then they just execute, like you said, at a high level, which is amazing.
And that's an absolute sneak of a dump there by Ryan Kenny. Comes
awesome.
in from front row and just no one looking for that one.
Jeez,
Huge
look at that
swing.
pass. What? Such a good serve.
Great dig.
A little one-arm stab.
Ball goes tight, goes up once again, and they're looking for those little bit of a different matchup. And now we're seeing Langlois start to turn on this game.
Yeah, when I almost said BYU, when the Stingers are in system, they're so fast. Their offense is so quick, very tough to defend.
Yeah.
Watch him.
High point of contact.
No way, Russ.
Oh, there it is. Sorry for all the viewers. We don't have access to a lot of the lineups here, and I'm finally figuring out what happened. I think that they've gone ahead and switched Ian Cap to the outside. He's their new 0-2, so they put their Oppo as the outside, and that's where the sub has come in, number 14 with Peter Namiotko, and that we saw as a serving sub last game, so he's their new Oppo.
Okay. Wow.
That's a big set, goes to the outside, and Langlois right over the top.
Yeah,
Peter unable to find that one.
Yeah, it's almost too easy for Langlois at 6'10", and he can jump. He's kind of like a Phil Dalhouser. Like
Absolutely.
Didn't play ever in high school, and then like I think Phil played like at like some sort of a city
JUCO
college
or something.
Yeah, and then one of the best outdoor players in the world. But that's Jake too. Jumps really well. Great athlete.
You know, I really, really hope to see that Jake Molnaziak. I hope we're able to see him stay, you know, fresh as we are, you know, kind of continuing down the way, because he's got a, you know, he's
oh my gosh,
super physical.
Yeah, I would love to know what that guy can touch, because he just jumps out of the gym.
There's one of the first touches for the backside that we've seen in a while. Tyrants are able to dig, play it into the net, find a good rip, and the Stingers are now on the defensive side of this. But they transition, and Jake Langlois is turning on.
Yeah, that's one thing. Jake, when he's patient that way and just kind of snaps high, instead of trying to really rip the ball, he's untouchable because he's hitting the ball at such a high altitude and just goes deep in the court. It's so tough.
One more time, Olivia. You ready for us? Okay, go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, when you touched on Jake Langlois not having experience in high school, I asked him about that, and he said he was average height in high school until his senior year. He grew over a foot. So his plan when he went to BYU was to try out for the volleyball team. If that didn't work, he was going to try out for the basketball team, and if that didn't work, he'd try out for the golf team. But as we know, he made that volleyball team. But he said his first year he was a redshirt, but he was so far off of the team, he wasn't in any pictures. And he went on his mission to Brazil, came back, and again, I asked him, because he played 6 years on the U.S. national team with the team, and I said, how did you get so good so fast? And you've talked about it earlier today, Taylor Sanders. They came in as freshmen together, and when he came back from Brazil, Taylor was a senior, and they got a year together, and he said, I attribute so much of my success to what he taught me.
That's awesome. And that's one more thing. I could talk all night about Taylor Sanders. I just love that kid to death. Not only is he an amazing volleyball player, he is such a good dude. Like he's so like humble.
Yes.
You know, there's one person that shouldn't ever be humble. It's that guy. But he's so humble, and I love the fact that he was willing to teach. Oh, look at that.
That's a great up. Number one sets to the outside. Number four, the big swing, the big dig on the Stingers. Storm tries to throw it over, but we got a big set back to the middle. Just wide, unable for Thomas Burrell to connect there, but that turned into a pretty big rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about Taylor. I mean, I grew up playing against Taylor, and it was crazy to watch him every year. Everyone got 10% better, and that guy was getting 30% better every year. And you know,
that's awesome.
You can. He's left his imprint, and always excited to see what he can do with USA volleyball going forward.
Absolutely. There's a funny story. So he was still in high school, I think.
Thomas Burrell out of the middle there.
Big swing there for Thomas. The 6-on-6 Manhattan, you know, it's kind of a big deal. A lot of pro teams and whatever, former pro teams. Utah always had a team there, and my buddy came back from playing in it, and he's like, there was this 17-year-old kid, and nobody could touch him. Like, he was jumping over professional athletes and just killing the ball left and right. And like the next year, or at the BYU game, and my buddy goes, that's the guy, that's him. I'm like, Taylor Sanders? He's like, yeah, that guy when he was 17, he was better than everybody. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, he still is.
Yeah, right?
That's a big swing from Ian Cap on the outside. Ball now goes up, and Langlois with a chip, but that's the Tyrants are fighting for it under here, but they're going to say that impeded play, so Ian Cap gets called for under there. Little stab there and a nice pickup in the back row by Peter.
I'll tell you, I love the fight of the Tyrants. I mean, they're really, I almost say the Titans, the Tyrants. They just have a lot of fight in them, and every ball, like they're just going, which is so cool. And I think keeping them in this match. I mean, here we are, 7-7.
Yep, absolutely. Storm goes up with that hybrid. High ball goes out, and we're going to see Cap with a big swing here. That's a great set by Jake. And once again, that is where teams like this, with that 0-2 look on the outside from multiple guys, you air that ball out, they're going to be 15 feet out of the court on a full sprint ready to blast that through hands. So if you're not over the net, get ready, because that ball's coming in hard.
Absolutely. That's so fun to watch.
Cap with a jump serve. Goes for the hybrid actually here. Storm handles it well, but that's a middle swing coming in. Great touch once again, but yeah, Russ Levia puts a little something on that. Russ Holmes coming into the match here.
It's so fun, man. I've been doing the volleyball thing with BYU for so long. I can't remember when everybody played. Maybe Russ is older than I was thinking he was, but I mean, these guys, they all are still so freaking athletic out here. It's so fun watching.
Honestly, Jake Milnaziak's giving me a little bit of a flashback to what we were seeing earlier with Joey Jarvis, the outside number 7 for the Stunners. That guy was going up and hitting every shot in the book, and right now we're seeing high hands, hard line, chop shots. He's doing it all.
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools. Holy smokes, look at that.
Dug perfectly, goes to the outside. Jake gets a rip into the corner. Stingers are now looking for their answer, and that's Jorge taking a swing, blocked right back into him. The Tyrants are absolutely shutting balls down on the net.
I can't believe that dig. I mean, Storm just absolutely thundered that ball.
And dug perfectly.
And it was just a perfect dig. Yeah, unbelievable.
You're going wherever you want with that, and that's a big adjustment. We're seeing with Race Munger out here, we're seeing Matt Buffum in the middle. That's a big touch for him too, to shut that ball down at the end of that play. Big set, easy dig. Tyrants going to rally. Big coming out of the back row, lit by Chandler. Nice dig. Chop goes up. Langlois doesn't get the set he wants. Comes up. Tyrants go back, going to the outside. And Jake says, I don't care where you set that ball. I'm going in.
Yeah, you set it in my general direction. It's the set I like. I can get a kill.
That guy's absolutely a joy to watch.
Yeah, he's got a tool belt with basically any tool you need in it. Wow.
Yep. And honestly, it all starts with that approach. Anyone out there watching you think you're undersized, it's all about that approach. Watch how he sees every ball. And we're going to see it again right now. Goes out, tools the blocker. Every single swing, he views it as not a way to, how can I get out of this? But it is, I'm going to score this point.
The Tyrants are now up 2.
Yep, you love to see that. That is, these guys are absolutely fighting tooth and nail. But I think the big change here is that they're really having some success with Ian Kapp as the big switch to that 0-2. It's short of some holes. And, one of those unsung things is when you've got a right side that's back row that's finding some digs. And right now with that adjustment, Peter may not be providing a lot offensively, but Langlois has been putting a lot of chops over the block. Peter's picking them up with ease and making sure that they can keep throwing balls out to the pin.
Yep. And then he just does his work, gets it done.
And
awesome.
That's kind of what we were saying was the 0-2 spot last game was in the last 2 games. They weren't able to find a way to contribute in the way that the Tyrants needed to continue forward.
Yeah.
Little adjustment here, and all of a sudden, you don't need every single guy in your team scoring. But when they're providing and finding a way for the team to be successful, that's where things start to click, and the Tyrants are showing that right now.
Yeah, and you've got to have, call them like a maintenance man or a garbage man, is you got to be able to throw something out to the pin when you're out of system and have it work. And Dan was really struggling to put a ball away out there as an outside, and so having Ian out there, good stuff.
But hey, I want to give a lot of credit because Ryan, right now, the setter, Ryan Kenny, is absolutely putting on a setting clinic to put his guys in advantageous ways to score. He's coming off his back foot a lot as he's going to the 8-foot line, throwing balls 20 feet across the court, nailing exactly where his guys want it.
Yeah, that's a good point by you. He's playing really well.
Big swing from Peter, looking for a way to kind of get involved. Chandler's going to set that ball. Langlois probably chopping down the line. There it is.
Jake's got that like off-speed, almost like a lazy approach a lot of times, and he's really good though at tooling the block, and like that shot right there, just over into the corner.
I think the one thing the Tyrants are not identifying too well though is when Langlois is set off the net, it's pretty much a guaranteed % he goes to a roll shot that's over the game ball touches. That he's chopping right over the top of the block or down the line, and I think that you can see the set that's going to tell you where Langlois wants to go right now.
Absolutely, I totally agree. He's almost predictable in that he's going to shoot if it's not right where he wants it.
Exactly. So I think that they can make a little adjustment there. But once again, Ian Kapp with a great pass. Oh, sorry, that's Jake. Little chop shot. Now we see Langlois, and that's where again he wants to go for it. I didn't see a touch there. I saw him way over the top, to be honest.
He thought he saw one, but neither of the 2 line judges saw anything either. I didn't see it.
But sometimes we're at a weird angle. Maybe you got that inside hand to the middle and just didn't get seen. But that's that inside set that he's really been ripping. Langlois with a tight pass going back out to him, tries to throw a ball down, and throwing a ball down in the literal sense there, really gets on top of that one, but finds a way to score, and that's going to tie this game up at 13.
Anybody's game. Let's see if Jake's feeling the jump serve. Nope.
Right now, though, honestly, that's a great float if you can hit that. And
yeah, he pulled the setter way off the net. Jake was basically hitting a back row set.
Yep, and that's a great deep corner swing, And that's the thing right now, when you've got these guys like Jake and Ian that are back there passing like this, if you're not crushing your jump serve, you're just giving them the easiest ball that's a down ball, and they're in system. So if you can hit a float serve from a high point of contact, absolutely the way to go.
That's a nice turn right there.
Love to see it. Peter is absolutely finding a way to contribute on this team right now. it's kind of a little cool prequel that we got him in game 2. See him hit that one serve, and we're wondering, you know, are we going to see more of this guy? And
yeah.
Lo and behold, here he is.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Number 5 there, Ryan Alley with a great pass on that to keep them in system. And Jake goes to a float serve here out of the jump serve. Huge block that goes wide. Storm finds a way to just bang that ball through the low seam and force it out.
Yeah, that looked like a total trap set.
Yep.
Somehow or another, he found a way to get a side out on that.
You know, there's a lot of smaller outs. A true 0-1 is really difficult to find. And 0-1's your big go-to guy. That's your trash collector like you were mentioning.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 0-2s here that are just absolutely abusing.
Wow.
Wow.
Great turn.
We talked about it. What adjustments can they make? Is there another middle sitting on this bench? And Matt Buffum coming out, gotten a block so far. That's the first or second kill for him and looking away to contribute. Tying him up 15 all. Great float serve here, gets the overpass.
Oh.
There it is, blocked that face Storm. That ball is coming back, first class mail.
Yikes. Yeah, that came back with some speed.
I mean, we are seeing that the Tyrants absolutely love giving their middles some overpasses. That's overpass number 4 for the middle blockers of the Tyrants here. But that's a great float serve. That ball is carrying really well. Storm with a big swing, and honestly, one-on-one, that's a pretty decent touch, but Storm is not going to be hitting into that low seam and giving you a chance to touch that ball.
Yeah, that's a nice swing by him. A nice soft block there from Peter, but not enough. Leo Durkin back for the Stingers.
Great float serve there, handled well by Ian Cap. Coming out, Peter's
ball.
tight.
Oh my gosh.
Finds a way through the block.
How in the world?
Oh. Absolutely manhandled. Ooh, that's a questionable no double call, but that's a smart play by the libero over there from the Tyrants.
Oh.
Chop shot from the corner. Ian Cap showing him where it's at.
Wow, that's a big rally right there, and a big point for the Tyrants to go up 17-16.
Absolutely.
That could have gone either way, but Ian closes the door.
And Ian actually got a great touch there when Jorge Mencia was trying to tip a ball over. Ian closed it off really well, as a true opposite does. And Stingers were able to put some scrap together, questionable as it was. But so now we're looking at I think a 17-17, but we got a little questioning from the Tyrants here. But we'll see them get back into it here. Storm going after that hybrid. Handled like I'm
really well.
A little tight on the net there, and Langlois goes up.
Jakes gets after it.
Yeah, we're really seeing, honestly, it is virtually unstoppable thus far, but it is clockwork. If he gets that inside high set, he is just going all angle. If he finds that set behind him, that's the time that he's chopping line. And you really hope that the Tyrants team is able to see that, and they're not quite making the adjustments, though.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. Big swing to the outside. I got to tell you, the outsides on Tyrants think that the 4-to-4 shot is their bread and butter.
Absolutely.
That is impressive, especially at that size. Those guys are hammering that line.
Yeah, I don't know what he said, but he had something to say after he hit that ball. That was awesome. That was a big-time swing right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Comes out and serves one like that, too. Oh, my goodness. With the true finesse
that was fun.
Of a middle blocker right there. Rusty Lavaya just taking every